What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty
How do
good,
you
pretty
feel?
good.
Sleep deprived?
Yeah, really sleep deprived. That match took a lot more out of me than I
Yeah,
anticipated.
trust me. So who here thinks this was a waste of a night, half a night?
I went to sleep at like
Well,
6:30. So
anytime you have an India Pakistan contest and you come up with no result, it's always disappointing.
It's so disappointing. So disappointing because it was turning out to be an amazing game.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was going to be a close one for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you predicted that actually.
Yeah, that's what seemed real at that time, and what's it called? If it wasn't for those couple of players, Ishan, Kishan, and Pandya, and down, this could have been a very this could have been a statement from Pakistan.
Yeah, it could have been a walk in
Yeah.
the park, easy,
Right.
which you would have loved. I know you
I
don't like close
definitely.
games.
Being a
It's
Pakistani fan, it's always nervous when it gets too close, you know.
I 100%.
So you're on the edge.
It's so off the table, at sometimes.
But going back to your predictions from yesterday in the pre-game analysis, right?
Yes.
What did you predict? 240, 250?
Yeah, I
And if
said
it,
yeah.
if it wasn't for the extras,
Yeah.
there was a lot of extras in the bowling side.
Yeah, I think within
Yeah,
the first 5 overs they had like 14, 15 extras. Too many wides for my liking.
Yeah.
Like it's just way
Yeah.
for these. Actually, with the type of bowlers these guys are, they get a lot of swing.
Mhm.
So understandable there was some, but that adjustment could have been done within the first 2 overs to
True.
then adapt and control the swing a little bit.
And also, what I think is, this game is such it takes such a mental toll when you're in the field, right, on the players. It's not easy being in there with you have literally you when you're there, that there's half a world that's pretty much watching you at
Yeah.
that time. So it's like a lot of nerves, and that's what I think. I think Kohli and Sharma, or at least I think when they started off, they were a little shaky.
I think out of the first 4 wickets, the only guy that was sort of unlucky was maybe Ayer with that sharp catch
Yeah.
that was straight to Zaman.
Yeah.
Other than that, the three
Yeah.
bowls, all three of them were a little reluctant to come forward, and I think that's a credit to the bowlers as well that you're not fully leaning in to that shot where you would normally would. They were a little tentative to come out, stretch out, especially with Shaheen taking a few away just as a change up, and Naseem was bowling excellent, a little unlucky, and then Harris, um, very expensive up front,
Yeah.
very wavered.
Your boy.
My boy Harris.
Yeah.
Very, very wavered up front.
Mhm.
And then he came back with that sharp off the seam little movement in to get Gill.
Gill, yes.
Yeah.
Talking about Gill, a guy who has a double hundred, right?
Yeah.
And you're playing your first match against Pakistan. You're coming off a successful IPL season.
Mhm.
Let's talk about him a little bit.
Mhm.
I found that he was a little shook.
Mm.
I found that he was very hesitant.
You would be too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If you're on the other end, and
A lot of pressure for sure.
Your two
Yeah.
lead
Exactly.
batsmen get bowled like that. You would be
exactly.
shook.
You see that happening on the other end, and it's your first game.
Yeah.
Against that bowling.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's the biggest
exactly.
feel right there. So
Yeah.
you could see that he was a little tentative coming
Yeah.
forward.
Well, that's 10 off 31.
Yeah.
Right?
I
And,
thought-
and
yes.
the 4 was basically just a freebie that came off of him. Otherwise, it's basically like 6 for
Yeah.
31. Really.
Yeah.
If we talk about the current cricket environment, that's like 5 overs. Like you just played 5 overs to get settled in. Mind you, there's a lot of factors. The rain's a factor, right?
Yes.
The movement off the pitch. You seen early in the game a ball that totally just dipped,
Yeah.
right? And then it's just coming up.
Yeah.
And therefore you saw like something that was unusual. You saw Rizwan having a lot of trouble behind the stumps.
A lot of late swing too. I
A
think
lot of
we
late
were
swing.
discussing
Yeah.
that as it was
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, a lot of late swing by Naseem.
Naseem Shah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very hard as a keeper
Yeah.
to judge that move.
Exactly. And they were when they came back from that first break.
The rain break. Yeah.
Yeah, the rain break, and then they came back. I think they bowled. Actually, they were very calculated.
They adjusted the length.
adjusted
I
the
think
line.
that break kind of helped Pakistan
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah,
They adjusted their length. They brought it
Yeah,
back just a
yeah.
touch. I
Yeah.
think this Shaheen was going a little too full in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
and then he adjusted that. And I think his wides did decrease after that first, but
Yeah.
Nassim kept going with
Yeah.
his random down leg and
Yeah.
outside off wides.
Yeah.
And see, as we were watching the match, one of the things that we were talking about the extras, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a biased opinion a little bit. We want Pakistan to do good,
Mhm.
naturally being from there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, one of the things was that they're trying too hard,
Mhm.
right? And so for me, Shaheen's one of the world's best bowlers,
He
no
is.
doubt about that.
No doubt.
He's top tier, top
Mhm.
shelf, right?
Yeah.
But you heard the commentator saying yesterday, a bowler's main job is to put doubt in the batsman's
Mhm.
mind, right?
Mhm.
So don't you think that the full length
Mhm.
ball up front, Rohit
Mhm.
would have been expecting that off
Mhm.
or anybody else? You know it's
Mhm.
coming.
Yeah.
You know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and they
that's
found
the-
more success with pitching a little bit outside and then
Mhm.
bringing it back.
Yeah, I think I
Right.
think that may be the main adjustment that was made after that rain break is that he had a few that were cross seam, just going across from the batsman,
Yeah.
and then the one that just held his line came
Mm.
in is what got him.
Mm.
Still the same delivery.
Mm.
Now it's just a surprise one instead of
Yeah.
like a regular every single ball
Yeah.
you're trying to see
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So that definitely that brings me to the next point: the spinners, Pakistan.
Oh man, they bombed.
Yeah,
They bombed.
that's understatement.
This is
understatement, sir.
see, this is my ongoing concern. Like right now we're in Asia Cup, but we're going to World Cup after.
Yes, but just in their defense, there's one thing: the field was wet, and then
The ball's wet too.
the
Yeah.
balls wet too.
Yeah, I mean,
And
It's not the easy.
It's not easy to
You're
control.
a spinner yourself. It's not
Yes.
easy to.
it's not
grip
easy
the
to control
ball.
the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
no, absolutely.
The grip is-
Conditions
gets-
play. Conditions are a factor.
Yeah.
But did you maybe see one of like the loopholes or like a weak spot, like a chink in the armor for Pakistan? Good side overall, but the lack of having maybe another all-round option. With you have some spinning all-round options. We clearly saw we had spin going on from both ends at
Mhm.
one point,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Could pace have helped?
Another you saying you think Pakistan could have another fast bowler,
Like a part timer.
Like a
Part-timer.
part, like
someone like Fahim Ashraf, you saying, like bowler and a bat.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But then does Fahim have a spot in the team?
No, that's a different story. I'm just
You know?
saying, he was just an example. He doesn't fit into.
Well,
the
he's,
me-
he's in the 15 right now. The only person he can replace is Nawaz.
Yes, and Nawaz is not going to go.
Well, then
in
you
my
don't have a
opinion, I
full-time
think-
spinner. In my opinion,
Yeah,
that's your most complete spinner, right?
And you guys got to understand, this was half a game, not a complete game.
Yeah.
The batting side, the batting we didn't see.
Yeah.
But Nawaz has had proven in time come clutch for Pakistan in many,
Especially against
against India, right?
Yeah.
As a
So
batsman,
Nawaz, I mean, this was just one game, and yes, the spinners did a horrible job, but
Also,
we got a
in
little
Sri
bit of,
Lanka, you don't expect the spinners to not do well.
Yeah.
Right. You expect the spinners to come through with the pitch that's always gripping. Pakistan just didn't have that go their way this time. Maybe next game will be different. Another
So-
thing you got to keep in mind is that this Asia Cup is going to
Mhm.
be consistently going with the rain in
Yes.
Sri Lanka, especially in the Super Fours and the playoffs. It's all Colombo
It's gonna
and Sri
be-
Lanka. It's a lot of rain, and that's just the season right now.
So, did you guys end up seeing? Obviously, you guys saw the Afghanistan series.
Yeah.
On a hot day, so for me, the fitness could have been a little bit of a factor for the fast bowlers. You saw Shaheen go out at one point. You saw Haris go out at a different point, right? So this is your team that you're going with. Mid game, because you've got a lot of cricket coming up.
Yeah.
Right. So you're in Asia Cup right now, and these are quite physically demanding games.
Mhm.
Whatever the conditions are, you're there for about 8 hours in a day.
Easy.
Right. So my thing is God forbid you have to fall for a backup option. What do you do? What do you do then?
You do have backup options
Yeah.
though. You have
Wasim Junior,
Wasim
yeah.
Junior's
For the
there,
fast
Raheem Ashraf's there. I think
we don't need to worry about like fast bowling.
I think that
Pakistan-
was more for load management as well.
Yeah,
It wasn't anything to do
yeah.
with fitness. I think
Yeah.
it was load management because they were coming from playing T20 tournaments,
Yeah.
a lot of them, and then coming in.
Do we think Shaheen's knee is back 100%?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Shaheen is bowling at Express.
he's
100%.
bowling really well. He's bowling excellent.
Yeah.
He's your main wicket taker,
Yeah.
especially with that new ball.
Yeah.
My concern yesterday, like I said, was the middle overs.
Mhm.
That I said that after the first 10, you were going to need
Mhm.
Naseem to come through for you to get some movement off the seam.
Yeah.
He did wrap up the tail, which as we're watching here, it was great to see. He was a little unlucky up front. The spinners could have done a little better. Fielding is what also let us down.
Oh, fielding! Oh my
Yeah,
God!
a lot
Fielding
of
was,
misses through the hands.
from
couple
why I
pass
say
drops.
I usually don't exaggerate Pakistan's fielding ever, but recently they have been on a good.
They've been on a good run.
They've been a good.
Yeah.
They've been a good fielding.
Couple of
side.
sharp
would agree.
catches. There was one
They've
by
taken-
Shadab as well.
Shadab is a gun
He's
fielder.
your main.
It was-
He's a main fielder.
It was almost like there was nothing wrong with the fielding per se. It was just a little bit of a laziness or
like I said,
slouchiness.
yeah, lazy, and I think
You
there
know?
was a lot of nerves too.
A lot of nerves.
A lot of nerves. There were a lot of people, and it's against India. Every time these two teams play, players have nerves. Big pressure match, right? So players are humans too. They're just like us. They're just good at what they do, but everybody has nerves, and I think at that when 2 billion people are watching you, you're gonna be sometimes you're gonna be nervous, and you're not gonna be at your best.
True.
Yeah, you know what? It's really unfortunate we don't get to see Pakistan bat,
Yeah.
right? Because you remember a time, it was almost certain that if
I wanted-
Pakistan was chasing, they're losing.
Yeah.
Right? But recently,
Mm.
you see this new team prefers to
Yeah.
chase.
Yeah.
They like a target on the board,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to go after it.
Yeah.
You know?
They are
Definitely.
they have really picked up their chase game.
Yeah.
They chase well now.
They understand the importance of their wicket now, right?
Yeah.
Before a lot of players would come play
Yeah.
their wicket away, but now you see players like Rizwan,
Yeah.
Babar,
Yeah. Yeah.
Agha Salman
Mhm.
build their inning and
Mhm.
actually put a price on Imam as well,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
These guys value their wicket and they really want to take their time,
Mhm.
develop that, and then
Yeah.
you have players like Saman, as well as Shadab, Ifti, that like to go after the ball. So it's a good balance. I love the team. I think it's doing really well.
There's
we
there's
just
players
need
on
to
the
be
both
patient.
sides. Their first game against each
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And the pressure is mounts all the time because this is something that gets talked about,
For
way in
years.
advance.
Yeah.
You start talking about it in like March that
Yeah.
Asia Cup is coming up.
in, yeah.
World Cup is coming up, and then we might get to see these teams play each other like 4 or 5 times in a span of a year. So what a great year for all the cricket fans,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
So
My next point would be
Business booms, everything goes well,
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and that's why you create. It's the hype is created as well.
Of course.
to make the most out of it.
My next question to you too
Yeah.
is: did India miss a trick by not adapting to the lack of having experienced batsmen in the side by not putting Kohli at 4, still going with also batting first in an overcast condition, which is first
Yeah.
question. Why would you do that? And secondly, would you not have sent Kohli at 4 and Ishan Kishan, especially as a lefty, because he you take away that in swinger, right, for Shaheen. So now it becomes a outswinger, which is a little more easier to manage.
Yeah, I agree with you, but Shaheen is effective to both left and right-handed bowlers.
I know he's
Sorry.
effective, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying he's more effective against the
Mm.
right-handers. Right? And then with the early wicket of Rohit,
Mm.
wouldn't you have adapted and sent Ishan Kishan up front?
See,
Hmm.
here's my take on that. India has always been a side which is very, very strong.
Yeah.
They haven't won anything significant in the
Mm.
last 10 years, right? Like a major title.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're very, very strong teams. So I think it was kind of a show of dominance, right?
Mhm.
Because in that moment, Kohli goes one down. Kohli's
Mhm.
still one of the great
Top-
top- top batsmen out there, right? So with what happened with Kohli and Pakistan the last time they met, I think it was more like a psychological move. If Kohli goes there and starts hitting a few shots,
Mhm.
it's going to put all the bowling attack under pressure. So I think that might have had something to do with it.
Mhm.
But again,
Yeah, I believe Kohli. I mean, even if management would have asked Kohli to go number 4, I think he would have said no.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my spot, and he likes that. And he's proud of that spot.
yeah,
He prides himself as a number 3 batsman. I think he should, because he at his caliber, at what he is.
Yeah.
He can move. He can go down number 7, number 8, and he can bat just as well. I mean, it's Kohli, right?
Yeah.
But that spot, that number 3 spot, he likes batting at it, and he knows that that's what he wants to do, bat at number 3 for India. not number 4, not number 5, not number
I guess
6.
also for the consistency of the World Cup. As well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because
what's to come,
exactly,
you wanna stick
like
with
I said,
that.
he should keep that spot because he's going to be making runs just because of today. I mean, players get out.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like that's the end. He's going to
Yeah.
come back. He's going to perform again and again and again.
Absolutely.
He's the type. He's like
He's seen it so many times.
Exactly. He's like
He's
the
seen it so
LeBron
many
James,
times.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
LeBron James is going to be. You can play him whenever, wherever. Even if he's 50, even if he's 60, right? He's still going to be. He's probably not going to be able to dominate as he used to, but he'll still be
a difference, in my opinion, a difference in a rookie versus a vet is basically someone who doesn't take the pressure from the outside world anymore, right? So maybe plays a factor, but these are the guys like Rohit's been out early a few times, but Rohit still remembers how many times he's went and done damage against them. So same thing with Kohli. Like he got out early today, but he won them the match.
Yeah.
The game before. So that's all part of the game, I think.
Yeah.
But it puts India in a well, not difficult considering it's India. It's a giant versus Nepal.
Next,
But
yes.
that game is.
It's going to be pressure.
It's going to be a little bit of pressure.
It's gonna be a
because
little bit of
you
pressure.
can't.
Yeah.
If you lose that, you're out of the tournament,
Yeah.
and you can't have that, right? So that little bit
Imagine
of pressure.
Nepal going through
Yeah,
first.
you know what I mean? Their first
think,
Asia Cup, playoff, competing with the best.
And they take down a giant like India.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody in the Indian camp that thinks that they're going to lose to Nepal.
Right.
But everybody in the Nepal camp really wants to beat India.
Yes.
You know
as
what I
a
mean?
team, that's what
That's
you
what
want.
you
That's
want.
your fairy
Yeah.
tale, right?
Right.
You wanted that.
So even if you don't have any other accomplishment, first of all, big up to Nepal for being here, first and foremost, right? They took out some good competition to be here.
Yeah.
So big up to them. Their upcoming team,
And their upcoming team, yes.
right?
Yeah.
But if
And
they
actually
can
did
go out of
pretty
the
decent.
yeah,
They did pretty decent until the middle order that they had did stick around for a bit there against Pakistan. Against that pace attack.
so let's talk about the shitty politics a little bit, and that is because like you gave me the bad news. that
Which politics? Like in
the game of cricket and
game of
and,
cricket,
and the
the
venues
general
and everything
venues,
like that, right? So, well, he gave me the forecast and saying basically the next 2 weeks are looking rainy
Yeah.
in the whole Sri Lankan region,
Mm-hmm.
right? This Asia Cup is supposed to be held in Pakistan.
True.
Right? So, you've seen the game in Multan,
Yeah.
you've seen the game or the upcoming games in Lahore and stuff. So you had a venue, but we're going to, sort of a tropical island
Yeah.
in August and September. Like this is the season for those things,
exactly.
right? So it's really, really hard, and I don't really want that to really, I don't really want this match to be how all the other matches go because that's no fun.
Unfortunately, it's going to be like that. Well, tonight we have what is it, Bangladesh versus Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So
Where's that happening?
That's happening in Lahore.
Lahore, nice.
And so that game kind of decides that group in a way.
Yeah.
Because if Bangladesh lose that game,
this game to Afghanistan, they're out. Yeah.
they're out.
They've
right?
already lost to Sri Lanka.
They already lost to Sri Lanka. So and Afghanistan, they do have the team that can qualify for the top
Oh,
four.
100%.
For
I
sure.
agree with that.
So it'll be really interesting, especially and it's a away game for both teams.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to be fun to watch. I'm looking
I mean,
forward to it. Not for Rashid Khan. I
not
guess.
for Rashid Khan, right?
Why
That's
not?
his home ground,
That's his
Lahore
home
Qalandars, right?
Yeah.
So he's right at home.
He's right
Gaddafi
at home.
Stadium.
Honorary citizen.
Right?
I
So-
think half of these Afghani guys are right at home.
Yeah.
They've been playing the cricket in
Yeah,
Pakistan.
I mean that's where credit goes to PSL a little bit
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Some of these Afghani guys are used to those conditions, and
Yeah,
they've
100%.
played-
And they've already
there.
played in those conditions.
Whereas
So,
in Bangladesh, I don't think
I actually,
they've been to Pakistan in a long time.
just because of that, I think Afghanistan should be able to qualify before Bangladesh
I think so.
because they've been playing here.
Yeah.
They've been playing. Bangladesh doesn't have the
Yeah,
visit.
this game essentially guarantees Afghanistan to qualify if they just win it. Right? They
Yeah.
don't have to then, look forward to beating Sri Lanka, who's a better side.
Because Bangladesh is already coming off a 5-wicket loss to Sri Lanka. Right?
Oh, guys, okay. How long do you think before Afghanistan wins a world title? How long do you think?
I'm honestly not thinking
In
it's going to
years.
be too long. I think
A
given
big
about-
tournament, let's say like something like Asia Cup. A World Cup maybe a little further down the road.
My prediction is my honest
But, like,
prediction
let's
is
say
3 to
these-
5 years.
3 to 5 years before they win a prominent tournament, right?
They can do it right now, but it's just like if you look at Pakistan, you remember like you kind of you kind of remember the Afghanistan-Pakistan team to be kind of, like the late
Yeah.
2000s team when the Pakistan wasn't really doing too good,
Yeah.
and they really didn't know what to do with the
Mhm.
pressure. They almost had Pakistan how many times?
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They've had a lot of close games. I don't know if they have the team to beat teams like Australia and India.
Yeah,
And Pakistan.
they don't have the batting yet.
They don't have.
They don't have the batting yet.
I think it's
They can somehow qualify as a bowling.
Yeah,
team,
their
but
bowling team can get the team out, and then
they're
maybe
more of a bowling
take that
team,
pressure
yes.
off their batting. But
I mean, so their game is they're a more T20 team than they are. So they've
Yeah.
got sloggers on the team.
yeah.
ODI format obviously is going to be longer, but a T20 upset, I can see that happening.
I think Ramanullah Gurbaz can play
Yeah, he
50
can play.
overs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
mean,
Mohammad
obviously,
Nabi
there's
also.
a few players, but
Hazratullah
See,
can also
if
I think,
you-
yeah.
bat both in.
How long is Nabi gonna play? Right, that's the other
True,
question.
Nabi
right?
is
So
a
how long?
little-
Because he really holds that team together.
Yeah.
He really completes that team.
Yeah.
So how long is he gonna play? So in 3 to 5 years, if they don't win,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right, it's almost a rebuild for them that
Yeah.
they have. to go
See,
through.
the thing is, the other thing is exposure,
Mhm.
right? Sometimes we the thing is with cricket going global.
Yeah.
Yes, the players are going around, but until your national team is playing at those venues as a
Mhm.
unit, you don't really get that exposure. So when's
Yeah.
Afghanistan really playing in England or in Australia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
South Africa, like
Yeah.
that is just not happening
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So
those tournaments have to have, or those
Yeah.
those series,
bilateral
those bilateral
series.
series have to happen,
Mhm.
right? And it's interesting because again, it goes back to the politics of it too, right?
Yeah.
Now with the current regime in Afghanistan,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Do we ever see cricket going to Afghanistan, or do they need a neutral venue?
Mhm.
I think they'll need a neutral for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe the next 5 to 10 years it could be different, but for now I think unfortunately that's just how it thinks.
How-
I think
it
instead
is-
of UAE,
Yeah.
maybe USA or Canada should give them
Start
some
hosting.
sort of a host to
Fly
be.
everybody
No,
out
man,
here.
that's too
It's gonna be
far.
so
So
expensive for everybody. It's gonna be expensive
That'd be
for
a lot of
ICC itself, right? So,
Yeah.
But also ICC really wants to get into
They
USA.
get into the US market.
So-
And how many, so because of the war in that country for how long, there's a lot of Afghani people all like in North America.
Yeah.
So they're gonna give you a lot of crowd.
Yeah.
It can be like a home game for them.
For sure.
Right? It can be a home
I
game for
agree.
them. Right?
If you market it right, you can get a lot of people. to
Oh,
come
yeah,
out- come out for those
absolutely.
games.
That's so yeah. Afghanistan definitely has a neutral venue right now in Dubai, and I think that suits them really well.
It's also a dead wicket though, right? Like
Yeah.
those wickets don't really test you in the
Yeah.
variety. Like let's say a tournament happens in England or Australia,
Mhm.
your team's never going to be prepared to play in those.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get like you've seen Pakistan cricket come out of there for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
10 years we saw that. You see the same old conditions.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be humid. This
Dead wickets.
dead wickets.
Yeah,
It's you don't really grow. So
Yeah.
just from the standpoint of if they want cricket to be prevalent in North America, maybe that could be a thing. But I think that's too far. So
But with the next T20, it would be smart for them to actually do that because the next T20 World Cup is West Indies and USA. For now, there were some rumors about that possibly changing back to England.
even
but
this Asia Cup, if you look at it, that's a lot of travel.
that is.
That's a lot of
Mm.
travel. Any amount of travel that you do, it takes a little bit of toll on your body. You're getting adjusted to the conditions. I mean, it's not a huge trek, but it's still gonna have an impact on the players.
Mm.
Packing up your kids, putting them on the planes, going somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? They're not super close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Afghanistan is a serious threat in that group at least.
Yeah.
in
Who you
my
got
opinion.
winning tonight? Afghanistan, Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. I would say let's even though I love both teams, they both got quality players. I would still go with Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan might be taking this by just a hair.
What are you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Afghan brothers. They
Alright.
got this in the bag. It's gonna be a close game, like you said, but
It's going to be a close
think
game, yes.
They
but-
will edge. They
I'm
will
gonna
I think
be.
they will edge it a
I'm gonna
little
be different. I'm going Bangladesh tonight.
Mm.
but just to be
Bangladesh
different.
tonight. Not just to be different. I think they've got something to prove.
That's
I think they've been a cricketing nation for quite some time,
Yeah.
not finding a lot of success.
Mhm.
Plus, their India, Pakistan is Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, so they're already coming off of that loss.
Yeah.
They lose to Afghanistan, it's gonna hurt them.
Well, that
It's
might
gonna
be
hurt
the
them.
thing that they need to kind of maybe
To
shake
really
things
shake
up,
things
to
up.
get them in the World Cup.
Yeah, maybe,
You know?
maybe. I think if you look at the other boards, I think subcontinent cricket in general, I think for the last little bit was kind of indulging itself in a lot of politics.
Yeah.
But now you see the English board and Australian board kind of almost retreating from their involvement a little bit, and I bet you they're on the back foot right now, studying everything that is happening right now, preparing themselves for the conditions for the World Cup. So on that note, who do we think is it's a little far, but where do we think the World Cup is going? Is it does it benefit the subcontinent teams to be playing right now, then go to the World Cup in India? Do we think the cup is going to stay in Asia?
Yeah.
The World Cup, I think, I have a feeling. That's Asian team is gonna take it.
I have England going in the top four. I don't think Australia will make it to top four. I have England, India, Pakistan. I don't know who the fourth is just yet, but that's my
India
top.
is they make good rivals with
Yeah.
England. They
Yeah.
make good rivals with Australia,
Yeah.
and of course with Pakistan. So
Yeah.
that's basically your top four teams right now.
True. But
Don't forget, don't miss.
yeah.
There's also New Zealand and South Africa
That's
that are
true.
doing well too.
That's true. But it just even if they have good teams, to me they never feel like a threat. I don't know why. I don't know
Is it
why.
because they always choke
It's-
at that
it's-
stage?
You're South Africa, you're
Yeah.
New Zealand,
Yeah.
and the crazy part is West Indies is not even playing the World Cup. Like that
That's
to me
crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah,
That is
That
just
well,
is-
their board is I recently had somebody that was part of that culture, play for our local team, and stories you hear, there's a lot that needs to happen within that board and that cricketing nation to change things and get the right guys in the right place,
Yeah.
and get that, because they shouldn't be losing. Problem with that, it's going to be a whole new episode for this, but problem with that team is that they don't get paid enough to play for West Indies.
Yeah.
There's way too many cricket tournaments around
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
So the players are never obliged to play for their nation.
Yeah,
And
it's
they
like the
rather play
board
the
for like
tournament,
5-6 different island nations playing as West
Plays
Indies, right?
right? So why would you go play for West Indies when you can make double the money in a month for a random tournament?
Just because what they mean to cricket.
I mean,
right?
no, of course, we
You know
would
what I mean?
we want to see them,
Like
right?
the
But I
best
think
bowling
that's
attack
where-
at one point, West Indies, the
yeah.
best batsman.
But
West
that's
Indies.
the whole
But,
can of worms.
you know,
that,
yeah,
maybe
no,
another
absolutely.
episode, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. But coming back to Asia Cup, big
Yes.
games coming up.
Who do you think is gonna do damage from Afghanistan side today? Who do you think? I think Rahmanullah Gurbaz, and
I think Gurbaz and Goodnick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna do
He
well.
can play some shots.
And then of course Rashid.
I think Rashid is
Rashid's
going to
gonna
put
eat
some
them.
vices
Uh,
on tonight, and he's just
Even
really
with the bat.
he's
that guy-
gonna he's gonna put things in the chokehold tonight. I think the crowd is gonna be there to support them. I would love to see
I
the
would
crowd
love
there.
to see a full house.
I would love to see a full house
Yeah.
there, and really support those guys. And
Yeah.
then
I personally believe that I think Mujibur Rahman should go number 6.
Yeah.
I think they should give him that number 6 spot
I-
just for a
he-
bit, just for like 5
He did
games.
go off. He did go off.
Yeah, and there's times when he does go off like that.
He's
been going off.
You can bank on
He's
that.
been
yeah,
going off.
for sure.
And I'm saying just give him that number 6 spot for a bit. He can turn into an amazing T20 player, but 50 over as well. He's a wizard with a spin, and he bats equally well.
Yeah.
in
So
my opinion.
Saturday
Very
night,
freely, yeah.
Saturday night matches what 3 a.m. Are you guys gonna be able to stay awake the whole night?
Not after what happened last night.
No, I don't think.
I don't think I'm watching this one, but I'll definitely catch up in the morning.
Yeah.
Second inning, most likely.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try because like the ODI cricket, if the match is good, so me, I'll just lay down in front of the TV,
Yeah.
and if the match is boring enough,
Yeah.
it puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
And then every time there's a big shout like a wicket or a 6 gets hit, then you just wake up for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just kind of go back to it. That's
Bro, my link keeps breaking every time I leave it. If
You gotta get official, bro. You gotta get
Gotta get
official.
on that Willow TV.
You
bro.
gotta get Willow TV.
Free links,
Shout out
man.
to
Why did I-
Willow
No,
TV.
they're not sponsored yet.
Not yet, but
Yes.
we need something. So we need something.
Find us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's,
absolutely.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up and let's watch the game. If you guys are up, watch the game, and then we'll meet back here soon with the updates.
Well, hopefully the weather is not a factor.
Yeah.
Because I want to see some good games.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Asia Cup is here because it's just getting me all that much more hype
Yeah.
for the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know. biased opinion, kind of want to see Babar lift the Asia Cup and the World Cup because then to me he's goated.
Yeah.
And that'll take a lot of pressure on being a Pakistan fan because you see a guy his caliber achieve everything early, so then he can just really play his game.
For sure.
But that's it from us.